Today, let's make some emergency sunglasses. Often in an emergency situation, you will find yourself without sunglasses or sun protection. Of course, within about 30 minutes of exposure to bright sunlight or reflection off the snow, for instance, your eyes, the corneas of your eyes in particular, can become badly sunburned, and this can persist for several days with your eyes feeling very painful and gritty. And that's not a good condition to be in, obviously, in a survival situation. So there's several things you can do for your eyes to protect them. One very classic example, of course, is how the Inuits made their particular eyewear, and of course this is just a piece of duct tape that is folded over. It's about a 14-inch piece of duct tape folded in half. So you put it over your eyes like this. It's got a couple of lengths of this bank line tied to it. So you just go around like this, back of your head, and tie it in just a bow, of course, like you would normally, behind your head. And I'll show you what that looks like. So again, just a bow, and of course it's easy to undo. You could make a single line all the way around, but it can make it difficult to take on and off with headwear, and this way it's adjustable. So again, just a single piece of duct tape and some bank line tied to it, and that works pretty well. Another option you can do is, like many of us have seen the football players, where they'll take and they'll put black under their eyes. You can do that with charcoal from your fire, and that will also reduce the exposure. Many, of course, of the Native Americans, and as well as the Inuits, would take a piece of bark, same shape about for their face, carve a place for their nose, and small slits for the eyes. Works the same as it would for the duct tape sunglasses I just showed you. However, there's a little better option, and it combines duct tape and Mylar. Many of you are familiar with this emergency blanket, and you can buy these at many stores, and they're about $3. But you can buy these Mylar survival blankets for $1 sometimes. And of course, you pull it out, it is just a pack of very tightly wound up Mylar, folded very carefully. I don't know who they get to fold these things, but it's pretty ingenious, and you'll never get it back in the package once you undo the whole thing. But what you can do is you can take this Mylar here, and you can just simply unfold one end of it. So just get the little flap, just leave it folded together, and take about a finger and a half width, about that much, and cut it apart. So it's about 1.5 inches wide, because our duct tape is 2 inches. And we've got a project we're going to do with that. I'll show you in a minute. One thing you can do with your Mylar strip that we've cut off is you can simply take this and go around your eyes. And this is a really quick, expedient way, and just tie it in the back like we did before. And this is a really quick, expedient way to make sunglasses. And it works okay, but it's a little flimsy and it's very loud over your ears, and probably not the best solution for a long-term situation. So we've come up with something a little better. I'm going to take you over there to a log and show you how to make a better pair of sunglasses in the wilderness. In a wilderness situation, you will often have some duct tape with you. A good survival-minded person, preparedness-minded person will always have some duct tape of some kind. This, of course, is my favorite, Gorilla Tape. And then you'll also usually have just a cheap Mylar blanket, because they're small. You can fit them in a cargo pocket or your back pocket, and it provides shelter, cover, reflective heat, and there's just a lot of reasons to have a small Mylar blanket with you. And so if you do, you can cut off, like I said, about 1.5 inch strip and not lose very much, if any at all, of your overall coverage and protection, because there's almost always a little bit left over on your survival Mylar blanket when you wrap it around you, flapping in the breeze. So just cut off, like I said, this little strip, and that will become our
So
lens.
This is the forested area here in Middle Tennessee, where I grew up and where I started to learn bushcraft 40 years ago. I grew up on tales of Daniel Boone, Davy Crockett, Lewis Wetzel, and other great men and women, of course, of the era of our country's founding. And there's just a lot of remarkable things about this part of the world. I love the state of Tennessee. And up here in the fork of this tree, so if I can zoom in on it, there is a woodpecker. You can just barely see it right there. So it's always an honor to be able to come back to my home place where I grew up and to get back out into the woods. I love this territory as I pan around behind me and the vast fields and forests of all the places where I used to roam and learn and make bows and arrows and all sorts of shelters, different shapes and sizes, from teepees to more permanent shelters made out of wood and tin. But I love this region of the world, and it's filled with many stories, many heroic stories of people who braved the wilderness and brought into being the nation that we enjoy so much today, so much of our heritage. So I'm glad to be able to bring you this video from my home place today. So the first thing that we need to do, and this can sometimes be the hardest step, is to get our duct tape to the right size. But we want to pull off, about a stretch that's, say, about 14 inches. And we'll just tear that. Now, if things will work right, of course this, like I said, is the difficult part, we want to try to match these edges as carefully as possible so that we can make our duct tape sunglasses. So there we go. And we've got it pretty well. And you want to try to flatten that out and get that to where it's a pretty decent length. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to get something that's going to cover our eyes like this and wrap around to the sides a little bit, because we want to make sure and cover our entire ocular region so that we can get full eye protection and benefit from the glasses that we are making. The next thing that we want to do is we want to take and fold this in half and roughly identify the center, and you can fold that. It makes just a little bit of a crease there. And that's going to be where our nose is. It's going to be the center of our glasses. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our knife and go up not quite halfway, and we're going to make just a simple triangular cut using our Mylar cans bowl, and pull that piece out and set it aside. And that forms our nose piece. Then we're going to go over here and we're going to go about 1/4 inch down right in here, and we're going to cut out the eye, and I'm going to do that and I'll get back with you. Stay tuned. So you can see we've got our one eye here and we've got it cut out. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the piece that we trimmed out of this side and we're going to lay it over here and we're going to trace around it and then cut it so that we can have our eye holes roughly matched. As you can see, we have our holes cut out and matched, and we went ahead and trimmed both sides. Again, we're trying to make them look as equal as possible. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to trim these edges so that they are more rounded, because that's going to be sitting on the side of our face and we don't want any sharp edges to poke into our skin. Alright, so I've got the outside corners rounded off. I also rounded off these small points here where it fits over across the bridge of your nose. So now we have something that looks like this. Quite stylish, huh? Now let's add the lens. To add the lens, we want to take our piece of Mylar. We'll lay it up here and see about how long it is. I'm going to mark it about where we want to cut it. Again, we've left enough room, so we're going to cut it about right here. Just using our Mylar cans ball knife right here. I'm going to slice that. Okay, there's our piece. Now let's check it. See if it's long enough. All right, and that's perfect. That's exactly how we want it. We stretch it out. We have a little bit of space top and bottom, and of course the other side, it's coming along nicely. Now let's tape it in place. We have here about roughly 10 inches of duct tape, and what we're going to do is we're going to take, maybe 3/8 of an inch, 1/2 inch, something like that, and we're going to tear it like this. And you all know duct tape tears very well. And then we're going to kind of measure along the top here. And we're going to look about like that. And then we're going to tear that. Okay, and that'll be our first piece. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start over here on the other side. Okay, I'm going to lay this down. And we're going to put it on here like this. Okay, give you an idea. Looks like that. Okay, so we've got the duct tape affixed to this side. And then we want to take our Mylar and we want to try to kind of center it like we had it before, like this. And then we're going to fold this over. We're going to try to keep some tension on it. And we're going to fold that in. Okay, so that's gonna hold it together. So this is what it kind of looks like at this point. And the nice thing about this Mylar is that you can remove it and replace it if you need to on here. It will come off the tape halfway decent. So that's what we have to start with. Let's continue. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to use little strips of tape and I'm going to tape it all the way around and then trim out the nose. And you'll see what that looks like here shortly. So now what we have is we have our Mylar, and you can see through Mylar just in case you were curious. But we taped some things here on the bridge, 2 pieces of duct tape trimmed here. We taped around the outside edges here and here, and then across the back. And this is what it looks like from the back, of course, and then the much prettier side in the front. Now we have to make our straps, and for that we're also going to use duct tape. A couple of 14-inch strips, roughly a half-inch so we've got our strips made, and what we want to do is we want to take this right here and we want to start to pinch it together very, very carefully. And you just do this and just work your way down, pinch like this, and then smooth these together. Work your way down using your index finger, pinch in here, like a little canoe sort of looking area, and then put them together. And do that and smooth all the way down until you get to the end. And then, once we get that done, we want to leave the end open. And I'll show you what I mean by that. Alright, so we want to leave this end. We've got our long piece here, and we're going to leave this open, and we're going to take it and we're going to go to this side of our glasses, and we're going to go all the way over right next to the lens, and we're going to attach it. Okay, now where do we attach it? Well, we want to attach it in the upper quadrant here, so not exactly in the dead center. We want it more up towards the top of the lens, about right here, maybe 1/3 down for a center line, and then we pinch it like this. Okay, just like that. Then we go to the back side and we add another little strip here. So we're going to add our little strip of duct tape. I'm just going to put it right here, and this will help hold it on the back side of our lens here. We pinch this together, and then we're going to take a little roll of tape, and we're going to go around this pinch area that we formed. So right here, and we're just going to go around that with our piece of duct tape. We'll do that to both sides and get back with you. Alright, so now we're done. And as you can see, we've created our sunglasses. There's the back. Of course, not as pretty as the front, but that's alright. And then we've got our 2 straps here. And the reason I like making them long like this and not just one continuous loop is because I can tie it around my head, different size or shapes of headgear, around my neck, can hang it up, do different things with it. But this is actually not a bad pair of sunglasses. It works pretty good. So here's our sunglasses that we just made, and let's try them on for the first time. Let's see how they work and see how they look. So again, just around the back of the head and a simple bow. And
you can see they actually look not too bad. They work really well. I can look into the sun around. Of course, you're not supposed to look directly at the sun. And do note that these are not UV rated sunglasses. These are an emergency pair of sunglasses, and if you find yourself out in a snow situation or some other place where you've forgotten your sunglasses, you can make these quickly and easily. And this is the second pair I've made, and of course the second pair went a lot quicker, but I say that you should probably be able to make it with nothing more than your knife, some duct tape, and a little strip of emergency blanket in probably 15 or 20 minutes. So it's a neat project, and I hope you've enjoyed this one. This is James Bender for Waypoint Survival. Please like, share, and subscribe, and make sure and press the bell button to stay notified of all our upcoming videos, and we'll talk to you next time. Well, I need some sunglasses.